Hey guys, in this video we're going to add some HTML to the hello world that we did in the last video, and we're going to talk about how functions work in Elm. So let's start by wrapping this naked text node in an H1. We're going to expose H1 as well as text, and we're going to do this. Refresh, save. And now it's in an H1. Okay, what the heck just happened? This doesn't look like HTML at all. So here's the way Elm works. Functions in Elm have a slightly different syntax from the curly brace languages like JavaScript and PHP and C++ and Java or whatever that you're used to. What this is doing is basically the equivalent of this. You would be saying something like function H1 or we're writing pseudocode here. This is, think of it like JavaScript. Attributes and children, and then we have stuff in here, and then it's going to return something like an H1 with attributes. God, I can't type. And children in here. That's basically pseudocode. So what Elm is really doing is the first functions are just a series of symbols. So in this case, H1 is followed by a series of attributes and a series of children. These are lists. It's the same as JavaScript. So when we say there's an H1, the first list is going to be a list of attributes, which are just like HTML attributes, so the things that you put inside the tag. And then the second argument is a list of children, so it's everything that's going to be nested inside that tag. In the case of a text node, text nodes are children of the elements, so they go inside there. It's a little weird, but it gets very familiar very quickly. So let's do some more stuff with this. Let's wrap this in div also. So we're going to put div here, and we're going to say div. Here's the div. This is where its attributes would go. We're not giving it any attributes at the moment. And the H1 is a child of the div. Save that. Refresh. It's in a div. Well, we can't really see it, but we want to wrap it. Part of the reason why we're wrapping it is because the function has to return everything within one argument. So I couldn't just have a div and then another div and another div. So let's do some more stuff. Let's put in a list. List is going to have some children. List is going to have li. Say text. We have to create a text node in the child. One. Copy that. Two. Oops. We'll say 2 and 3. Save that. Oops. It doesn't save because I forgot to import them. There we go. What the hell? Oh, right. Comma. Save. There we go. And refresh. And now we see 1, 2, 3. And it's all formatted. Okay. So two things. One, you're probably noticing that when I hit save, it does a whole bunch of weird formatting stuff. There is a plugin for Atom and I think a couple of other text editors called Elm Format, Elm-Format, and you really want this. It's awesome. Every time you save, it just formats it in a style that is very amenable to Git. It helps you recognize all of the changes as additions rather than mutations. It's also kind of annoying that we have to add every single element that we're going to use, so we're going to use a shortcut and just say ... and that gives us access to everything that we could possibly want. Now, let's say we want to style this thing. How do we do that? So that's going to be the attributes. We're going to say import HTML.attributes, exposing let's just expose everything. And we're going to put in style to our main div tag, and we're going to make it red. The style is a function. This is taking a list of functions. Everything in Elm is a function. Even if you have like a single thing that equals 5, it's going to be a function that returns 5. So within the style is going to take a list as an argument, and the list is going to be a series of tuples. Tuples are denoted by parentheses, and here's where we're just going to put in CSS stuff in here. We're going to make the background color red, save, refresh, and now the whole thing is in red. Cool. So you can just like keep going with this. It's extremely similar to HTML. The learning curve is probably like an hour or two. It's pretty simple. And at this point, you're probably thinking, well, how do we get it to like do stuff? That would be pretty cool. And we're going to start doing that in the next video.